Greetings and salutations, everybody. It's Mecha GM, and I'm joined by my good friends and co-hosts Eric Carlson and Gav Leaf. We're back with 3 Men in an Anime. Huzzah!
Hooray! We totally didn't forget to do this twice.
Yeah.
I mean, there were accident circumstances with a couple of us.
There were, yes. Life comes real fast, and then also heat.
Yeah, there is some heat-related monstrosities going on there.
Brain no worky, and this show need brain worky.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So yes, we are covering Eric's most recent series selection, which was Pluto.
Yes. So Pluto is a murder mystery set in the world of Astro Boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Astro Boy doesn't really show up a lot until the last half. It's mostly centers around a different, highly advanced, mostly human-looking robot named Gazikt.
Yes.
Who we'll be calling Gesundheit because it's funny.
Eric will be calling him that. I will try to remember to call him Gazikt.
Eric will be calling him that, yes.
But yes,
a couple of caveats going into this show. A, it's 8 episodes. That is a lie. It is 8 movies.
It is 8 movies. It is
each episode is at least an hour long, basically.
each episode is at least an hour. I think the average is a little over an hour because there are a couple because they're different lengths. So they are exactly as long as they need to do the episode justice.
Yep.
They are all
which I approve
relatively
of.
They are all, for the majority, relatively self-contained, like bite-sized chunks to watch this in, but obviously the story evolves as you go along, so you can't just drop in and watch an episode, but be aware you're strapping in for this one.
I sort of, yes. I mean, you're definitely going to be getting lost with particularly with the later episodes. They're like, who the fuck is this dude? What the hell's going on? Why is that guy dead? I thought he was the main character. Wait a minute, who's this dude here? Why is Dr. Tenma a dick?
But yeah, the episodes are long, but they are also incredibly dense.
Yes.
Like I actually think this episode of the podcast today will actually be relatively quick, because if we start trying to unravel any of this, we will be here till Thursday in 2032.
Yeah, like
this is one of the more
not a light show.
No, it's not.
There's a lot of meat to this show. Let's put it that way.
This is a show in terms of density on par with like Madoka Magica.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not sure it's as layered as Madoka Magica, but it's kind of made out of neutronium.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of weird because it's also very blunt.
Like, yes, there is very dense, and it has no time for subtlety. It is like, no, these are the themes. There is no misinterpreting these themes, you fucking chuds.
I am gonna punch you in the face with you know that scene from Family Guy where the dude is punching Peter in the face with pictures of his kids?
Yeah.
Till he's bloody. That's this show. It is hitting you in the face with all of the themes with a metal bat.
It does not want you to pull some sort of chud bullshit. It's like, oh, but it's actually about how this applies to libertarianism and how that's awesome.
No. Now, also, people will almost certainly intentionally misinterpret it, but they have to willfully do so.
Yes. There's also it's also to make sure that when you get to the ending, none of this is ass pull.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we built this foundation out of fucking neutronium. You know, this is rock solid. This is not moving. We built this, we constructed this, we got to the end. Try us.
The big bad wolf is not blowing this house down.
No.
Even with an industrial weather machine.
I thought he might.
Yeah, so the themes of the show are, as we said, they are not subtle. And it really it does a really good job of hooking you into its themes because it is a murder mystery to start with.
Yeah.
which really helps
and
you sort of loop you into the actual what the show's actually about.
yeah, and what it wants to say.
Yeah.
And pulls you into the world as well, and
Oh, yeah.
gives a good like
Oh
a
yeah.
very grounded kind of street level view of the world, the universe you're in, and what's going on.
I'm just gonna get the bugbear out of the room.
Yeah, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
AI was used in some of its generative
Yes.
AI was used in some of its animation.
Yes.
Um, they figure out pretty quickly that it doesn't work and is generally reserved for when things get weird and dreamlike.
Yeah.
After the first episode.
Yeah.
Um, this is something I did not realize the first time I saw it because I was watching it in my living room before I got my glasses.
Yeah. There's a couple of very obvious like now in this day and age when we're so used to seeing AI and how it mangles images in some cases. There's a very obvious scene in the first episode where Gesicht is. We're going to get onto the basically they're all robots. Well, not everyone's robots, but Gesicht is a robot, and his hand can transform into a gun. Except it just kind of just like shifts into this nondescript thing with a hole in the end.
Yeah,
And that was the first hint for me. Now we've discussed this and we've said that like this is likely AI when it was a brand new tool because of the timing of when this came out. They were trying to use it for what AI was designed to be used for.
right.
Not to replace artists, but to be a tool in the box.
Yeah,
What AI has become is a different beast.
yeah, there's a lot of CG stuff that's done in animation to fill in frames between stuff in between frames.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And there's a good chunk of that and people do use sort of artists have used generative the things that became what we refer to as generative AI now to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And what they're doing, none of us are in the know enough to be able to say with certainty what they were doing with this.
Mm.
But it looks really clear that they were using some generative AI animation.
yeah, and there I have found a few I hate to say it, but Reddit posts that that confirm it from producers.
Okay.
Right.
Sure.
So yeah,
So take it the vast majority of the show is not.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is like Peter said, the vast majority is not. They learn pretty quickly that the tech's not there to do what they were trying to do, and they go back to the old way, except in certain places. Generally when things get weird and dreamlike, because things occasionally get weird and dreamlike.
Yeah. So we want to get that out there as a caveat, and I totally understand if that's a deal breaker for you. Like, I
Yeah.
get it. Believe me. I don't think I don't think that in this particular case it was used with malice.
Yeah, I would agree.
But
And I have a lot of
oh,
issues with AI, and
we all three of us do.
yeah, because capitalism ruins everything.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I will say this: the specter of it does weigh it down for me.
It does.
Um,
It, given some of the
it's a
themes of the
millstone around its
show,
neck.
some of the themes of the show, I find it painfully ironic that they did that. That they did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's a millstone around the neck of the show, honestly.
Yeah.
But with that out of the way, let's
I
let's
think
start talking about the cool shit.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
I
sorry,
think
Peter.
Peter's.
Or,
Sorry,
yeah.
I just think Peter's point there, like I say, but again, we're going to get into it. But based on the actual themes of the show, it is kind of hypocritical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
I don't think they meant it to be. I don't think it occurred to, like, again, no malice intended, but
Yeah.
gigantic, just oops. This is awkward.
Yeah.
So the themes of the show. God. Where do we want to start with this? Like, again, I think Gav's right. Like, plot breakdown, it doesn't, like, we'll be here all day.
Yeah.
So
I
the
mean,
basic,
this-
the very basic overarching plot of the show is somebody is killed. There are these. So it is the can't remember the name
the actual motivation, the plot of the.
hang on, I want to get the name right. God, Astro Boy. It's set in the Astro Boy setting.
Yeah.
There are multiple robots like Astro Boy. Or Adam in this case.
Adam in this one. I think 7. I think they said
There are 7. Yes.
7 super advanced robots that are capable of mass destruction.
That are all
They destroy.
basically, incredibly powerful. Like they are basically they are potential walking weapons of mass destruction. Weapons of mass destruction. They're also sentient beings.
Yeah, they are
Yes.
fully realized people in their own right.
Yes.
So somebody is killing them off one by one, and people are also killing off the scientists a group of scientists who are sort of largely involved with the creation of these robots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are aware it's the work of a serial killer because they regularly put 2 things next to the head, which is generally separated from the body, that give the impression of horns or antlers.
Yep. And Gesicht, who is part of Europol, totally not Interpol. Nope, not at all.
There are so many serial numbers filed off in this show.
Yeah, like I said, the show's not subtle.
No.
But it does wear a fig leaf of improbability. A fig leaf.
If you wanted to, right? It's not. I'm just going to come straight out and say it. The basic setting for this is America's invasion of Afghanistan under the premise of
Iraq,
looking
actually.
I was gonna say Iraq.
Sorry, yes, it was Iraq. Sorry, yeah. On the premise of looking for weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
Except
That's
it's the United
literally
States of Thracia, and
Yes.
it was the
Kingdom of Persia.
Kingdom of Persia.
Yeah.
Right down
As-
to the deposed king of Persia basically being a dead ringer for Saddam.
Oh no, he is.
Yes.
He is an XP for Saddam Hussein. He looks. It is Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
And all of these robots were in one way or another deployed in the war effort.
Yep.
Yeah, they're basically of the robots. There are 2 that didn't fight.
Yeah, there was
Adam
Epsilon
didn't fight. He was there basically as sort of USO
Well,
type thing.
Adam had
Yeah.
the advantage of being modelled on a young boy, and nobody wants to see a young child in war, so
Right.
he got to do the peace
Yeah.
court stuff.
And Epsilon was a conscientious objector. He is a pacifist.
Yeah.
Epsilon fucking rocks, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Epsilon is a tall, beachy looking man with long blue hair who has literally the power of photonic energy. By that I mean he shoots lasers and explodes.
Yep.
Also can fly.
He is a little bit. He falls into that trope of shit or get off the pot. Like a lot happens because of his inaction, but at the same time, you understand why his reasoning. It's not a frustrating
No,
you
it's
could have
a-
saved this. It's
I
like,
totally understand why you're not acting. I get it. Like I get it.
yeah.
And a
No,
lot of his
he-
inaction probably wouldn't have helped. That wouldn't it? Probably it would have if he'd taken action. There's certain spots where he'd taken action. It probably would have made things worse in a different way.
And it's not like he's not doing good either. Like
Oh yeah.
he basically dedicated his existence to taking care of war orphans.
Yep. He's a good person. Almost all of the I would say all of the robots. All these robots.
All
are
of the
good
robots
people.
all of the robots that we see in the show, including Brow, are
The
good
8th
people.
robot. Yeah.
Including Gesicht, who is a cop technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gesicht is a pig. Like, there's no getting around that.
Nope.
But he's doing his best to be a good pig.
Yes. And the other interesting note about them, they're all the robots were built by someone different. They all have different ways in which they are incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows everyone who knows anything about Asteroid knows Adam. We've talked about Epsilon. Gesicht is basically invulnerable.
Yeah. He
until he was very suddenly not.
Yeah. He's constructed with a particular
Is it
alloy
neutronium?
that's almost
I think
impossible.
it's
Yeah,
literally. We've said it already. I think it is neutronium or something like that.
it's some weird fake one because if he was made from
Yeah,
neutronium, he'd sink through the earth.
Yeah.
But
it's something sounding like that. Yeah, it's
yes, like
invocative of that. Yeah.
yeah, I think it starts with a Z.
Something like
It
that.
doesn't matter. He's made
No,
with like some
zirconium.
crazy
Yeah,
super alloy that makes him
Zeronium.
invulnerable.
zirconium.
Zeronium,
That's
that's
it.
it.
He's got a wife who's another robot, and they're a very sweet and loving
Yeah.
couple.
Yes.
And he's all. This is the one thing he's also armed with an actual weapon of mass destruction, but he can't access it unless he has above. You know, he's literally a walking weapon, but he cannot access said weapon unless he's given orders from high command, kind of situation.
I mean, they're all like walking weapons. Like
Yeah.
North Number 2 is basically just a friggin' flying artillery flying artillery attached to a meat grinder.
He's a Swiss Army robot. Yeah,
Yeah.
quite literally.
Both Hercules and the other guy
Brando.
whose name I can't Brando. Both Hercules and Brando are basically just tactical assault units.
Yep.
Yep.
No, they were both actually like designed to be. They were actually both soldiers, basically.
Yes, they were designed for combat.
Yeah, frontline combat units.
And in peacetime, they make their living like fighting in the robot rings because they can, and it's fun, and they enjoy it.
Yep.
And then you had the one we never actually really got to meet all that much is Mont Blanc.
Yeah.
Who was
Mont Blanc we never actually meet because he's the first victim. His death is what sets everything off.
But he's described as a huge, like, super powered, kind of a frontline brawler, but he's also not so much of a pacifist, but he is like he wants to be a protector, not a destroyer.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's all about like preservation of nature and like preservation of nature and being good stewards to the planet and all that stuff. Very big in the environmental circles. Up until the beginning of the show when where he dies.
He's absolutely beloved by like everybody.
Yeah. Like we see a flashback of Brando and Hercules, and they're comparing kill counts, and they mention Mont Blanc's like twice theirs combined. It's like, oh shit. You know.
Yeah, and Mont Blanc isn't bragging. He's just sitting there like, I really just want to go back to the mountains and like look at birds and tend to my flowers. This really sucks.
Yeah. So yeah, they basically the robots were involved in the war in
Persia.
In Persia, and they only fought other robots.
Yeah.
Because
Asimov's 3 rules of laws of robotics, like
basically
they are taken as gospel in this.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Until they very much aren't.
Well, that's how you know they're fully realized people when they can go against them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, this is why we're also introduced to Brow, who is, to everyone's knowledge, the first and only robot to have ever murdered a human.
Yep.
And they don't want to dismantle him or destruct him because they're trying to figure out what's actually wrong with him. So they've got him literally like impaled against a wall.
Yeah,
He
literally has. He has a not at all lance of launch and is through his side.
Yep.
Yeah. But no one can seem to find an actual problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he's basically Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like no one could figure out what was wrong with him. They actually say it multiple times. We scanned his artificial intelligence. We scanned his memory. There were no faults. Then how did he murder a human? We don't know.
Yeah, Brow's fascinating and probably actually evil, but
probably
but not nearly the most evil person in the show.
Dear God, no. Not the most evil robot in the show.
Yeah,
he's kind of evil, but he there's one thing he hates more than like there's one thing he prefers more to like the desire to kill or anything like that. It's not like he's a serial killer. He's capable of killing, and everyone fears him for it. But if there's one thing he hates more than people, it's stupid robots.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and that's the spoiler for the end. So
yeah.
But yeah, there are other robots thrown in, but those are the 7. Because I mean, Atom's got a sister who isn't referred to as part of the 7, but she has some fairly freaky fucking abilities of her own, and we see various other AI, various other robots who exhibit emotion and reaction.
Most robots are capable of emotion. It's just that most of them are, or at least
Or
simulating
how they're
emotion.
mimicking. Yeah, they're mimicking what they see from people to see if they can by doing it they can understand it.
And they do have some. They do have some emotions, but
yeah.
Like,
well, that's kind of the crux of Gesicht's story.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like we know Gesicht can feel actual emotion. We know Adam's sister Uru.
Uru is a
Uran. Yeah, Uran can feel emotion.
Uran.
Uran is one of the most sophisticated robots in the show, despite being she is not super powered, like in terms of like combat.
She doesn't have superpowers. She doesn't have like laser cannon eyes. She can't fly. She can't.
She is just a super empath.
Yeah, she's just incredibly empathic.
She can literally sense emotion and like
yeah.
From and what's more,
of miles away.
Understand it.
Yes, and understand it. And it's not just from. It's human, animal, and robotic. Like
yes.
She also has an innate urge to go and find it and try and fix it.
Again, she's very She's very much an empath, and she's like when someone is exhibiting immense sadness or fear or pain, she wants to help them because she's empathetic,
right?
Yeah,
and also a kid. So she her impulse control is not as good as it could be, but she's also like hard to hurt because she's a robot physically.
Yeah. But yeah, so we have a serial killer out in the loose, and Gesicht is largely the person trying to track it down. And he gets sidetracked by stuff like there's a anti-robot group in his home country of Germany that is causing problems. They are not at all neo-Nazis. That would be a stupid thing. Why would they be neo-Nazis? Just because our main point of view character for them is named Adolf? That would be silly.
Like we said, subtle as a brick.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm gonna mention this because it ties directly into Gesicht and how we learned that he can feel like actual human emotion and isn't just simulating it. Is Gesicht murdered Adolf's. I won't say murdered. Killed Adolf's brother in a fit of rage after Adolf's brother killed Gesicht's adopted son.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Adolf's brother was a robot serial killer.
Yeah.
A little bit of a spoil for one of the episodes, but it's yeah. So,
but this is how we understand that Gesicht is a fully realized person, and they try to erase the memory, but it's still the ghost of it. While he can't access it, still influences a lot of his decision making, as we see as the show goes on. And we also meet what was his name? The Persian scientist.
Crap! What was his name?
Fascinating character.
Yeah, Abula.
Abula, yes. Professor Abula. Professor Abula is we are told it basically suffered such injuries during the Persian War that he's almost entirely robotic. He only has a few organic parts left. We're told. And spoiler, he is the driving force between the entire thing because he's made the serial killer Pluto, another superpowered robot that's on anyone's clocks or radar. Because Abula is driven entirely by fury and rage because he lost his family in the war and it was injured so grievously himself. Abula's a robot. He doesn't know it. Again, this shows that robots are fully realized people and capable of terrible things as well as great and wonderful things.
Yep.
Yep.
Like they are people. Have we driven this home hard enough yet? No, not yet. Let's keep going. The show certainly does.
They really do hit you with the clue by four, saying, you know, they are people.
Yes. There are
And-
no shortage of allegories in this show.
God no.
And honestly, 10, 15 years ago, I would have been annoyed by this. At this point, it feels like it's necessary just to make sure it doesn't get misinterpreted.
I mean, before we started having this show, we were having a discussion about media literacy and the new Superman movie. Take that what you will.
Yeah.
Unless you're hitting people in the face with the points, common
Even-
sense ain't common.
Yeah. And even Pluto, it turns out, has the AI of an entirely different robot named Sahid, who really just wanted to grow flowers and make the desert green. But he got wrapped up in Abula's Abula's quest for vengeance and felt such sympathy for him that he allowed himself to be turned into a mass murdering engine of destruction.
Despite that he didn't really want to do that. He explicitly didn't want to do that.
Yeah. And
Like,
that thing is, Sahid could have said no. But again, Sahid's just a really sweet guy, and he wants to help his friend out.
Like, we find out that before the war,
he was help not just his friend, his father figure.
Yeah.
The man who built him.
And so he tries to do this, and he could have said no, but he lets Abdullah talk him into it, and now he's literally trapped. He can't say no anymore.
Right.
He barely remembers what he was before.
Yep.
Because Abdullah is... We saw a lot of terrible fathers in this. That's another theme.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Abdullah's a terrible father.
Abdullah
is a terrible father.
Yeah.
Dr. Tenma, Adam's father and creator, is a terrible father.
Weirdly with him, though, that's because he knows he's a terrible father.
Yeah.
And then tried to make up for it and realized, no, this is somehow worse.
Yeah. And Tenma is such... The two greatest minds in the show, Dr. Tenma and Professor Abdullah, are such deeply broken, malformed men, like emotionally. They are like, Tenma is obsessed with the idea that the only way to... I won't say obsessed. Tenma is driven entirely by the grief of the loss of his flesh and blood son that Adam is modeled after, and sits with that grief like an old friend and won't let it go. And has allowed it to drive him to make such conclusions as, oh yeah, the only way to like fully achieve full and proper sapience is through base negative emotions like rage, fear, sorrow.
Well, it's more that he falls on the like you say, that it's base emotions. But he never says the word negative, but the ones that he always picks are hatred.
Yeah. It's
sorrow.
The most easily achieved truly powerful ones. It's sort of
Whenever he's explaining it, it's always you have to expose him to strong emotions like hate and loss and sorrow. Like, about fucking love and happiness and joy. You've got that as well.
Yeah.
It's like it never comes across from him. It's never.
Yeah, because
he's incapable. He's largely incapable of it now. Like I said, he wears his grief like an old coat, and he doesn't want to take it off.
The weird thing that's the thing. Yeah. So this is the thing. The thing I want to point out with him though is that he's not. He's an asshole, but he's not a dick.
Yes,
like
fair enough.
He's a very like broken man, but he has sympathies. He's able to sit down and have a rational conversation with someone and not come across as a complete tool. He does
come across as a complete tool because a lot of his colleagues are like, Tenma, crawl out of your ass.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Abdullah's very charming, but he's definitely an asshole.
Oh yeah.
Yes. But like
Tema has a core buried deep within him that is a good person.
You can you can see it, or at least hear it. And I mean, I'm going to give props to Keith David.
Oh, Keith David crushes this role.
Oh, Keith David rock.
The subtlety in his voice.
By the way, we watched the dub.
Yes, yeah.
Because that's Keith David, and Keith David is fucking amazing.
Yes.
The subtlety in his voice that even when Tenma is being an asshole, you can just hear enough of a voice break or tremble in the delivery that you realize this is like a broken man lashing out, not him being a dick, so to speak. Or deliberately being a dick. But yeah,
and we see him like he's capable of like deep empathy on his own. Like spoilers, Gazik dies, and Tenma is one of the first people that encounters his wife when she can't hold it together anymore. And it's very touching the way he's like, just let it go. Just do what you've seen humans do. Just the big, don't try to make it pretty, just big ugly cry, and that'll help bring the actual emotion forward. There you go. I'm so sorry you had to go through this. This will help though. I'm sorry.
It's a really touching scene, like legitimately.
Yeah. It makes you really feel for the both of them.
Yeah. God, poor Helena. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That poor woman.
That poor woman eats so much shit. And all she wants to do is be a teacher and go on a vacation with her husband.
Yeah. Oh my god. At least she gets some closure out of all of it. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, like. There's just so much going on. Like, you know, these United States of Thracia are being manipulated by an AI also, it turns out. A psychopathic teddy bear.
Yeah.
Teddy Ruxpin got an upgrade.
Oh my god.
Got rid of the cassette tape and went digital.
But I think the really telling thing about this show is the sort of the thing that sort of saves the day is empathy.
Yes.
And that is the message of the show. Like, it is not subtle.
Yeah. Like even the villain. The thing is that even the villains of this thing, there are antagonists, but I almost hesitate to say villains.
Oh, the teddy bear's
villain.
Oh, sorry, the teddy bear. Sorry, the teddy bear. Yes,
Abulla is also
the teddy bear.
The thing about Abulla is, and it's a trope, and I know they use it in movies all the time because the best villains are often the ones that think they're in the right. Everyone in this entire show, basically, apart from that fucking teddy bear, is a victim, and finding a way to deal with that. In Abulla's case, he's lashing out at the world and becomes the villain because of that, eventually manipulating Pluto into being the weapon, the tool to do so.
Legitimately, I would be more hesitant. I'd be more inclined to call him an antagonist if he didn't do what he did to Saeed.
Yes, I get that. But at the same time,
that is clear, like villain action there.
The thing
he is trying to destroy the world.
Yes.
Let's be real.
There is the caveat. I mean, I hesitate to say caveat, but there is the reasoning that he lost his entire family in that instance, and unknowingly became a full-blown AI at the same point. Which obviously, and we do discuss that AIs struggle with processing emotions and feelings, and tend to fixate on a single feeling. So I can understand how it got to that point.
Sure,
of fixating
it is entirely understandable. Doesn't change the fact he's still a villain.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
I mean, Gendo Ikari wanted to destroy the world so he could see his wife one last time. doesn't make up for all the shit he's doing. Just because he wants to see his wife one last time does not mean it's okay for him to do what he does to Shinji and Rei and everyone else, and the whole planet.
This is what I'm saying. Like I said, I'm trying to not say outright he's not a mustache twirling villain, but he is the antagonist, if you know what I mean. But then again, he does twirl his mustache every now and again, so
he is at the point of the story definitively evil.
Yes.
That is the thing. Like,
yeah.
He has left his morality behind.
Yeah, the meeting in the bathroom with Gesicht's engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everything that followed.
Yeah, and there's, there are people who are on the side of the characters we like and are rooting for who are not good people either. There's some definitely not good people on their side too.
Oh yeah. That fucking fat cop that just hates all robots.
Oh yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. But yeah,
I'm not sure if Hercules is a good person either.
I'm not sure he is either. He's kind of a prick.
Hercules was a prick. I don't think he comes across as the the leave me alone vet kind of guy,
he's clearly suffering from PTSD. Like, there's no.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the fact that he got into him and Brando got into the fight game afterwards using their military bodies basically in combat instead of in like the robot sumo basically.
Yeah.
So they kind of continued the fight at the very least. No one else was really on their level, and they're both untouchable until they end up having fights against each other for promotional reasons and end up drawing every time.
And then they fight Pluto, and it goes poorly for them.
Yeah,
because Pluto is on another level as well. Pluto. Let's talk about Pluto.
Yes, let's talk about Pluto.
Okay, Pluto. We have no idea what Pluto looks like at first. Pluto is literally the oncoming storm. He manipulates weather and comes as a typhoon.
Yep.
And we only see hints of him for the first half of the show. Just that there's black shadow and the swirling storm clouds. It's actually fairly effective. It's also one of the uses of AI you see is Pluto and the storm clouds. Unfortunately, but it's and he doesn't speak most of the time. He'll roar, he'll growl, but he doesn't find a voice until much later,
like
after we've
7 or something like that. 8 or 7.
There's a part where he's telepresencing into a construction robot's human body.
Yes,
and is
sort of
working through a lot of bullshit, and that's when Uran finds him and helps him work through it, before he ends up back in Pluto and being a growling monster again. It isn't until he fights Adam.
Oh, Adam the first time. Yes.
He fights Adam the first time and wins. That we actually hear him speak anything coherent.
Yep.
And and eventually Gesicht tracks him down, and they have a largely one-sided conversation, but he does chip in a few words. He doesn't fight Gesicht at all. Gesicht gets killed by a hacked robot child that he met in Persia and made a connection with. It's another example of Professor Abdullah being horrible.
Yes.
He does actually fight Pluto and quite easily handles him.
You're right. Yes,
Gesicht is the one robot that one of two robots that Abullah's worried about for Pluto.
Yeah.
Pluto
and one he's not, and the other one's Epsilon, and he's not as worried about him as Epsilon is a pacifist.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gesicht actually tracks him down and
Gesicht's good at his job.
It literally backs him into a corner. Pluto cannot touch him, can't hurt him, can't get through his skin. And Gesicht's got weapons that are powerful enough to hurt back.
But Gesicht's not there to kill Pluto. He's there to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Because again, despite being a cop, Gesicht is a good man.
Yep.
I love that we all agree on that. Like, despite that very obvious caveat that we all have to say.
I almost wish, like, oh, I'm gonna say, I mean, I said this when it came up. There's a very distinct split in this show, and it's all based around Gesicht,
Yes.
and I kind of wish it had stayed a detective show, but there's a very clear break, shall we say, at the end of episode 6, where they
Yeah.
remember, oh yeah, this is Astro Boy.
Yeah.
Shit,
It's not quite the Fate Zero. Oh yeah, I have my disabled older brother I need to take care of.
Like I just kind of wish. I mean, they, like Eric said, they do end up killing Gesicht, and it does serve the story. I kind of wish that Gesicht would have had a happier ending.
Yeah.
I
Oh
know
no,
it served
you
its
absolutely wish
purpose.
Gesicht had a happier ending because you
Yeah,
really
Gesicht
empathize with
gets
the
done
man.
dirty.
Yeah.
Gesicht gets done dirty, and it's so sci-fi noir that
Yeah.
he
and
is
it,
such a noir detective that his
But he's
like
been,
anticlimactic
but
death
like,
makes perfect sense.
yeah.
but barring his wife and the other robots at the very least, like Gesicht has been done dirty by friend and foe alike,
Yeah.
and he goes out with a complete fucking nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it is a classic noir, just anticlimax death. Like,
Yeah.
it is positively monumentally unfair how Gesicht dies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is how a lot of people die. Like, it's
Yeah.
it is it's one of those, God, that's unfair, but God, it makes sense in context.
Yeah, and it serves the narrative. It serves the
Oh, yeah.
themes.
Yeah.
God, that poor
And it
bastard.
kind of pisses you off because
And it's supposed to.
no
Like,
one, yeah, because it's supposed to. No one involved in that deserved what happened to them.
Yeah.
The little robot kid didn't deserve getting hacked and discarded the way he was.
nope.
Gesicht didn't deserve that kind of death, just trying to help someone out. Like, his wife doesn't deserve the collateral damage of the emotional fallout of his death. Like, yeah.
Fuckabula.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
Abula. Abula's a monster. And
That might be the single most evil thing he does, honestly.
Yeah.
honestly, yes, I would agree. Like, destroy the planet, sure, I get it. Everyone wants to destroy the planet, especially when it's 90 degrees out. But like doing that to a robot kid, that's
To this poor kid who's selling flowers on the street. Like, come on.
yeah. That's some yeah. Fuck that dude.
Oh my God. At any rate, again, totally in genre for totally in genre death for Gesicht, but
Oh yeah. And again, it reinforces that Abdullah's an evil dog fucker.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, what really gets through to Pluto and starts bringing Saeed back out is his, it's the initial encounter with the first off the encounter with Ura,
Uran. Yeah.
Uran, then fighting Adam, then his encounter with Epsilon.
Yep.
When Epsilon basically realizes that literally the only option here is to quote fight, end quote.
Yeah.
And even then, he refuses to kill.
Yep.
Because
hell, he sacrifices his arms to protect his bodyguard and one of his adopted kids.
Yep.
He sacrifices both his hands to do so.
Yep. And the way he's fighting Pluto is trying to bring Saeed back out, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he even gets brought up in front of a tribunal to say, you fought Pluto and we found his arm. Did you let him go deliberately? It's like, I fought Pluto, you found his arm.
Yeah.
And I beat Pluto.
And what?
Is he
I
dead?
fought him.
I don't know.
And it's not like what are they going to do against Epsilon is the other thing. Like,
Yeah, right.
There's not a lot they can do against them.
Yeah.
And Epsilon's fully aware of this. It's like, what are you going to do? Are you gonna put me in jail? Will that
Remind him
work?
he's a pacifist.
Now, knowing Epsilon, he probably gone, well, fuck, all right. Or
Well,
he might have
knowing
just
Epsilon,
walked
he
out.
probably would have gone, you know what? I have more important things to do than be in jail for these idiots. I have kids to take care
Yeah,
of.
he
I'm leaving.
would just
You
leave.
cannot stop me.
And he would not hurt anyone doing it.
Yeah, but he would just leave.
Yep.
Because literally they cannot stop him, and he doesn't need violence to do so. He just walks out. They
Yep.
can't stop him.
But yes, unfortunately, his second run around with Pluto does not, this is where he ends up sacrificing his arms.
Yeah.
Um, and
because again, Abdullah takes some very terrible steps to stack the deck in Pluto's favor.
Yep. And but again, like he is like Pluto is begging him to kill him.
Yeah.
Because Saeed specifically, really.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to do this.
Yeah. But he can't disobey Obula either.
Yeah, he makes it clear he's going to keep doing it, but he wants someone to stop him.
Yeah. I don't think he's fully capable of disobeying Abula.
He starts to show signs because Abula tries to take his walking stick to the kid and he blocks it off.
Yeah.
He's slowly he's slowly over time getting more autonomy.
Yeah. Abula has no actual direct remote or control over him, in a physical sense, but it's just the whole child must do what father says kind of situation.
I think there is something more complicated.
I think there is also.
Probably,
aside from just emotional manipulation, I think there are some limiters in there, honestly.
I think there is still some, like you say, he is still capable of physically disobeying him, even if only in a minor way.
Well, again, I think it's a case of him finding ways around the hard.
Which hell, I mean, we figured that out in the last episode.
Honestly, it is. I think it is similar to the way robots are programmed not to harm humans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think this is a similar thing in that he is programmed. He is designed to not disobey Abula. Yeah. But he is finding ways around that through emotion.
Which, considering the whole thing we've been discussing, is the fact that the emotion is starting to help them overcome even the most basic laws of don't kill humans.
Yep.
Overcoming the basic laws of obey Abula is also probably quite easy to pass.
Yeah.
And so yeah, Pluto's first encounter with Adam ends up with Adam being defeated and killed. Much to a lot of people, both his secondary father, Doctor. Okay, what's the doctor's name?
Ochanomizu.
Ochanomizu, yeah.
Ochanomizu, yes.
And Tenma, both of them are crushed by this because Adam's a really sweet kid. And Ochanomizu is trying to spends a lot of time trying to see if he can find some way to fix him. And Tenma has his well, we can give him my sort of plan for creating the perfect AI, which is to give them every possible simulated intelligence, human intelligence, and sort of etc. And basically get to pick the one he wants. But robots can't do that because they have to go through the nearly infinite number of them. And the only way to get to kickstart it is by make them experience really strong emotion, usually something awful and painful. And so what Tenma ends up doing after he gets all the physical repair done is and sets that up is injecting Gazikt's memory chip.
Yeah.
With all of Gazikt's suppressed rage and sorrow.
Not to mention the fury over his death,
Yeah. So Adam goes to fight Pluto and is not pulling punches anymore.
Adam
beats Pluto.
Yep.
And doesn't kill him. Despite Pluto's
Yes. It looks like he's going in for the kill and then he stops.
Yeah. And Pluto's like, "Why did you stop? What? Can't you just finish this?" and Adam's response is, "No, no, I'm not going to, because you're hurting as much as I am. We're
Mm.
we're both really hurt. Let's talk this out." And yeah, and they do. There's literally later on a shot of the two of them like lying down, staring at the night sky, chatting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
we have
literally
this
Adam's
whole-
empathy towards
Yeah.
Saeed.
Well, we have this whole thing when Adam finally wakes up. He's basically in a almost like a waking coma kind of situation.
Yeah,
He's not
he's in a sort
responsive.
of
He's
a fugue state.
yeah.
Like,
He doesn't blink. Just a nice way of reminding you that he's a machine. When he does respond, it's extremely base and robotic. And they leave him for 5 minutes. They come back and he's drawn the plans for basically an atom bomb on the wall, and they're thinking, "Oh fuck, which personality did he choose?" Before he eventually just walks out of the reinforced bunker. Like they literally
Through the
say,
wall.
"How did he get out? This is literally reinforced to hold him. He just went through the fucking wall." Oh. And they just find him. Ochena finds him walking the streets, trying to come to terms, and you almost get the feeling where he's deciding whether humanity gets to live or not,
Yeah, basically.
and whether life is worth protecting or not. And it's only when he comes to that conclusion and he's able to relate to Pluto and talk him down and say, "Look, I understand, I get it." And as Eric says, they're waiting for this. I won't go all the way into it, but they're waiting for the Doomsday weapon to arrive. And in the meantime, they've just sat down, had a chat, and watched the stars go by.
The other important
okay.
thing he does before he goes to confront Pluto is he has a chat with Brow.
yes. And what a fascinating character Brow is.
Jesus, yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say I wish I saw more of him, but I think they do a good job of using him exactly the right amount.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Like you there are times you're like, I kind of wish we had more of him. Then you realize, no, because then we'd know too much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Brow sticks around exactly long enough to make you want more of him, but not to overstay his welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Brow has basically Adam asks him for one favor. He basically says, "Yeah, I will free you from this if you do me one favor." And we find out what the favor is after they defeat the Abula and the final solution, as it were.
The Doomsday weapon, yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of a doomsday weapon. It's not the final solution. I shouldn't use that term. That applies to a different group in the show.
Yeah.
And the Robo Teddy, whose basic plan was, we're going to wipe out all. The only thing that will survive this cataclysm I've been engineering along with Abula are robots, and maybe some select humans we decide to spare.
Did I mention? Did we mention the U.S. president? Sorry. The UT president is in direct cahoots with the Robo Teddy Bear. Like literally, he's the one human that we see visiting the teddy bear and asking and basically saying, is this all going to work? Is this going to make us are we going to win? Is this going to make us powerful? It's like yes, we'll be powerful, and all the humans will be dead except a couple of you. I might keep you as a pet.
It's like, wait a minute, what do you mean all the humans? Well, all the humans. That's that was the goal from the beginning. That wasn't our goal. No, that was my goal. You were just a useful idiot.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the president in this is she's a fucking idiot.
We don't get a lot of screen
Like,
time, but he does not come off as very impressive. Let's just put it that way.
Even in the scenes where he's the he's the most important man in the room, he's the least important man in the room.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brow confronts the bear, and boy, the bear looks like an idiot.
Yeah.
The bear is a petulant child and largely presents itself as a petulant child.
Yep. Like
I don't like
it is
humans, so I'm gonna
very
kill 'em all.
clearly like cunning and a good strategist, and
Yeah.
it's a very good schemer. But it
Well,
has
it's the
it
it's the
utterly.
definition of the sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying it's the definition of the fear of AI.
Oh yeah,
It's a
Yeah.
it's an AI using logic and scheming to set up a plan to manipulate, to do this, to do this, to do this, to this. A million steps down the line that will then eventually lead to the wiping out of humanity
Right.
through like
and it
pushing
utterly
one domino.
and it utterly and completely misreads other AIs.
Yes,
Yes.
because Brow shows up and he's like, you're another AI that's capable of murder. You must understand what I'm doing. And Brow's like, no, that's stupid.
Bro, yes, I understand what you're doing, and it's fucking stupid.
Yes.
What are you thinking?
Like, I'm literally the guy that they know as being the first robot murderer. And I think you're giving robots a bad name. uh,
But yeah, that's basically, and so that's basically Pluto. Like,
yeah. The only other thing that we did mention, at least between ourselves, is, and we have to kind of touch on it, is without even describing where it came from, the Doomsday weapon,
oh god,
Yes.
the Stay
The-
Puft Baby.
The Stay Puft Baby.
yeah, it's the other
Uh,
robot form that Abula has, and it's not. We all got what they were going for with it. It did not work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other
A
important.
valiant effort that did not work. Yeah.
The other very important bit is that Adam is not capable of surviving in the volcano where the big Stay Puft Baby is going to blow up. He can't survive in the volcano there. Only Pluto can. And thankfully, since Adam didn't destroy Pluto and empathize with him and talked him down, Pluto can save the day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pluto gets to make the big heroic sacrifice to save the day. Huzzah! Well done.
Yay.
Yeah, the overall, like I say, we got what we were going for, but the overall design of Bora, which is the final
Yeah.
final robot,
Yeah.
it just looks like somebody like had 5 minutes with a lump of Play-Doh. It's really like, for all the mecha design and everything else we see in the show, it's really poor.
Like Pluto is so well made, designed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Pluto itself, like really well done.
And Bora is another example of them attempting to use AI animation,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can tell, and because it all happens in the heat phase, in the shimmering heat haze of, well, the Earth's mantle. To be fair, it's works a little bit better than some of the early stuff in episode 1, but it's still,
But this
like
is like
everyone says, the design doesn't work.
This is your doomsday device, and it looks like a featureless, vaguely baby-shaped blob of Play-Doh.
Yeah, and I
Which
get
I
it.
can get. I can understand how that could be threatening, but then we can't really see any of it anyway, so it's just like kind of this thing.
I mean, I get what they're trying to go with, because it's like it represents like, it's an creature of potentiality being used for destruction, which comes back
Yeah.
to Abdullah's like perversion of everything he's worked for.
Ultimate innocence, wiping
Yeah,
the earth clean, but yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
yeah,
So it's important to note that it was originally designed to help with Said's project to bring life back to the desert.
It's
Yes.
a terraforming machine, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it's all like rebirth, the potentiality, blah blah blah, all of it perverted into something monstrous because that's what Abdullah does. And yeah, it unfortunately the design doesn't. I see where they're trying to go, and unfortunately it doesn't work. That's just it. So, but I think that's about the review.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Yeah, there's not much else to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, again, the
I
themes
mean, there's a
are
lot to
not
talk
subtle.
about, but there's a lot to talk about, but like we don't want to be here all night.
Yeah.
No. I have work in the morning.
So
Yeah.
and like we want you. If you have not watched this, watch it. It's like,
Yeah.
if
It's
just for the
very
story,
good.
like it's very good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's accessible. It's not on Crunchyroll or anything like that. It's on Netflix.
So yeah, we haven't given it like the 100% glowing review because
It's got the there's an elephant in the room, and it is making noise.
Yes. On the other hand, it's also like it's really good, and part of what we're doing is nitpicking it. But
And
It
like
will-
again, it may not be subtle, but it's not. It is explicitly trying to not be subtle.
Yes, it will sit you down with in an episode. It will sit you down with a theme kind of situation and say, "This is what this character is currently going through. This is the scenario that got him there. This is why he's like this, and hopefully, there will be growth." And this is it. We're not hiding things. We're not trying to be subtle. We're not trying to be the most intelligent person in the room. We are not Parasite.
It
We are
really is
going
sort
to
of the
tell
opposite
you-
of Parasite in a lot of ways.
Yeah. We're going to tell you, we're going to write the entire thing out for you in big bold letters and hold up cue cards. This is what's happening. This is what's going on. This is the decision. It's a real life like allegory for something else that you may see. And if you think about it, you'll be able to apply this sort of logic to things in life. But we're not going to try and overcomplicate it and trick you in the end and say, oh, actually, the writer was smarter than you, so you didn't see that coming. And it's not to say it's predictable, but it's like, it's logical.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. There's none of it. There's no assholes in this show.
No.
Yeah.
Like, it is really well written, but not in a, I know something you don't know, I'm so smart kind of way, you know?
Yeah. No, the writing is excellent, like legitimately.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If unsubtle, and you know what, it needs
Yeah.
it needs to not be subtle, like it really does.
Yeah.
If you start trying to misunderstand it, it will hit you upside the head with the clue by 4, and then look at you and point and say, "No, pay attention."
The beatings will continue
not
until
what
understanding
I'm
improves.
saying.
But yeah, overall, we all like the show a lot and do recommend it,
Yes.
despite the the elephant,
Despite the elephant.
the horribly deformed elephant. So that does it for this episode. Gav, you're the next one to pick. What have you picked? What's the new next?
What did I pick? Holy shit, it's been a week.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we're doing Go-Go Loser Ranger because I was on a Sentai kick and it was that or the Isekai one, and I'm done with Isekais for a while.
That is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, Go-Go Loser Ranger, the Sentai about evil Power Rangers. Well, not evil, but dickhole Power Rangers. We haven't quite got to evil yet.
They're pretty.
They are pretty obviously going. We've watched some of it already, and
Yeah.
they're pretty obviously going to be evil.
Yeah.
Like they've done some pretty bad shit already. So Anywho, when we're done with that show, we'll be back with that, and then I have to pick something, and I have no. But that's it. Didn't do it. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back in a few weeks. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Wrong button.